Raymond Ellis pulled his old pickup truck across from McAllister Motors just as dawn was breaking, around 6:55 a.m. The parking lot was nearly empty, with only a handful of early bird employees trickling in. He sat behind the wheel for a moment, gazing at the sleek glass front of the dealership. The sun was still low, but the showroom's bright lights glowed like a beacon. With a deep breath, he grabbed his mop bucket and duffel bag, stepped out in khaki pants, black non-slip shoes, and a blue janitor's shirt with Ray stitched on it. To anyone passing by, he was just another cleaner. But Raymond wasn't just anyone. Not today. 3 weeks ago, he'd quietly bought McAllister Motors through his holding company's LLC. After decades in car sales, franchising, and real estate, Raymond wanted to return to his roots, but this time as the owner calling the shots. Before making any big moves, staff changes, or operational overhauls, he needed to see the place for himself, from the ground up, no filter. So he became the janitor. As he walked through the back entrance, a few employees gave him quick nods, polite but distant, the kind of acknowledgement reserved for someone in a maintenance uniform. The dealership was already buzzing faintly. Sales reps unlocked desks, the front desk team shuffled schedules, and word spread about a big SUV delivery from the night before. No one paid much attention to Raymond, which was exactly what he wanted. By 8:20, Colleen Draper, the general manager, swept in. Her red heels clicked sharply, her navy slacks and crisp white blouse were impeccable, and her black leather handbag swung with purpose. Salespeople stood a little straighter as she passed. "Morning, Miss Draper," one called out. She barely nodded. "Let's make today count," she said, her voice carrying an edge. Raymond was mopping the showroom floor when Colleen first noticed him. She stopped, eyeing him like he was a smudge on her perfect stage. "Who let maintenance in here during open hours?" she asked loudly, drawing glances from a couple of early customers. Raymond kept his eyes on the floor. "Just cleaning before it gets busy, ma'am." Her lips curled slightly. "Clean faster. That mop water looks like sludge. This isn't some corner store." He looked up, calm. "Fresh water, new mop head." Colleen scoffed. "This is a luxury dealership, not a dive bar. Stay out of sight." She turned, muttering about standards slipping, and strode off. A young salesman, Milo, looked like he might speak but stayed quiet. Raymond wasn't surprised. Nobody sticks their neck out for the janitor, especially not with a boss like that. But he saw it. The way she spoke wasn't about the floor. It was about control, about making sure everyone knew who was in charge. He kept mopping, watching, listening. Later that day, the dealership was buzzing. A couple tested an SUV, a family sat at the finance desk, and an older man browsed brochures by the coffee station. Pop music played softly overhead. Colleen held court near the reception, her eyes scanning for anything out of place. Raymond, wiping down a display in the corner, blended into the background, catching snippets of conversations, noticing who flinched when Colleen passed. Most did. Then a small moment. A kid from the finance desk family spilled juice near the entrance. The mom fumbled for napkins, embarrassed. Before she could act, Raymond was there, kneeling with a towel from his cart. The boy's dad, in a golf polo, smiled. "Thanks, man. Appreciate it." Raymond nodded. "No trouble." Colleen, emerging from the break room, saw it and pounced. "Are you serious?" she said, her voice cutting through the hum of the showroom. Heads turned, conversations paused. She pointed at Raymond like he'd committed a crime. "You're scrubbing the floor in front of customers? On your knees? This isn't a preschool." She turned to the family. "I'm so sorry. This won't happen again." The mom started. No, he was just helping. But Colleen wasn't listening. She spun back to Raymond. Do you have any idea how much these cars cost? We're selling a premium experience, and you're out here looking like a gas station attendant? Milo took a half step forward, hesitating. Miss Draper, maybe... Not now, Milo, she snapped, eyes fixed on Raymond. I'm talking to facilities. You don't belong in the showroom. Raymond stood slowly, towel in hand, meeting her gaze. You done? Colleen blinked, thrown by his calm. I'm here to clean messes, keep things safe. That's what I did. She faltered for a second, then recovered. Clean in the service bay, not where people spend money. She stormed off. A receptionist, Lana, offered Raymond a shy smile as he returned to his cart, but he didn't return it. He just kept working, noting the whispers starting around him. The boy's dad leaned toward his wife. That guy doesn't seem like a janitor. She nodded. And she seems like trouble. In the break room later, over sandwiches and burnt popcorn-scented air, employees decompressed. Lana, Milo, and Dana, a finance assistant, sat together. She went off on him twice, Lana said quietly. He was just cleaning up juice. Dana unwrapped her lunch. She's always like that, but he didn't do anything wrong. Milo frowned. Still, it was harsh. Dana leaned back, chewing thoughtfully. Something's off about him. He's too... steady, not like a regular janitor. Lana raised an eyebrow. What, like he's corporate? Dana shrugged. Maybe. I heard the new owner bought this place through some holding company, no name announced. My cousin said her boss did this once, pretended to be a valet to watch how things ran. Milo laughed softly. This isn't a movie. That doesn't happen in Charlotte. Dana pointed with her sandwich. New owner, low profile. You do the math. Outside, Raymond overheard bits of their talk while refilling a cleaning bottle. He didn't smile, but he noted it. The smart ones were catching on. In the showroom, Colleen was on the phone, her voice sharp. No, I'm not overreacting. He was scrubbing the floor like some motel maid. I don't care if he's new. He doesn't belong up here. She hung up, oblivious to the shift already starting around her. By the end of his second day, Raymond had seen enough. The dealership gleamed on the outside. Polished glass, sparkling cars. But inside, it ran on fear. Colleen's sharp tongue set the tone. A receptionist was scolded for laughing too loudly. A porter snapped at for touching a car without gloves. A technician cut off mid-sentence. No one pushed back. Even the assistant manager, Dean Hollow, with years of experience, kept his head down, quietly fixing Colleen's messes without credit. Raymond approached Dean once, wiping a smudged window. You've been here a while? Dean barely looked up. 7 years. Seems like you keep things steady, Raymond said. Dean gave a faint smile. Not my show. Raymond nodded. Still, people lean on you. Dean glanced at him, curious. You're not a typical janitor, are you? Raymond smiled slightly. Maybe I just like seeing what happens when no one's looking. Dean's eyes flickered with something, recognition maybe. In the service bay, techs grumbled about being left out of Colleen's team-building plans. She doesn't even know our names, one muttered. In a meeting, Colleen lectured about quotas and brand perception, her eyes scanning for weakness. Every interaction builds trust, or breaks it, she said, her words polished but heavy. Raymond, in the hallway, scribbled in a small notebook. They work through fear. 3 days later, Colleen was in high spirits. Sales were strong, and she'd heard corporate was sending someone to observe, a chance to shine. She moved through the dealership with a rare smile, touching up her makeup between calls. The staff relaxed slightly, sensing her mood. But at 10 a.m., a Blacktown car pulled up. Colleen hurried to the glass doors, ready to greet the corporate rep. A man in a gray suit stepped out, gold watch glinting. Then, from the other side, came Raymond. No janitor uniform, just a sharp navy suit, his eyes locking onto hers. She froze. The suited man spoke first. "Good morning. I'd like to introduce Raymond Ellis, majority owner of Ellis Automotive Holdings, now the principal owner of this dealership." Silence. A pen clattered at the front desk. Milo's coffee nearly spilled. Colleen's voice rose. "You're what?" Raymond stepped forward. "The janitor?" "That was me. Wanted to see how things run when no one's watching." Her jaw tightened. "That's ridiculous. You can't just—" "I can," he said calmly. "Purchase went through 3 weeks ago, clean and quiet. I've done it before." "Why?" she demanded. "To see who I'm trusting with my business," he said, "and how you treat people when you think no one important is looking. I've seen enough." Her face flushed. "You're judging me off a few days?" He didn't blink. "You judged me in seconds." He turned to the room. "Staff meeting, 1 hour. Everyone, including service and detail." To Colleen, he added, "You'll be addressed." She stood frozen as he walked to the conference room, the staff exchanging stunned glances. 45 minutes later, every employee packed the conference room. Techs, salespeople, finance, all shoulder to shoulder. Raymond stood at the front. No notes, just presence. "Thanks for coming," he started. "I'm Raymond Ellis, the new owner. I didn't come to make a scene or fire people. I came to listen." He paused, eyes moving across the room. "I mopped floors, emptied trash, heard what you say when you think no one's watching. I saw a place running on fear. Fear of being called out, dismissed, shamed. That's not how you build a team." His gaze settled briefly on Colleen, arms crossed in the corner. "Miss Draper, you've run this place 5 years. Numbers are strong, but profit without people is empty. If your leadership depends on fear, it doesn't belong here." Colleen's voice was low. "I did what I thought was best." Raymond cut in, firm but calm. "I'm not debating. Your approach doesn't fit. I'll review all leadership roles, including yours, in the next 2 weeks." To the group, he said, "This place is changing. Transparency, fairness, communication. That's the deal. If you've got ideas or problems, I want to hear them. Directly." A tech in the back nodded faintly. "This isn't about revenge," Raymond added. "It's about respect, both ways." The meeting ended and people filed out, quieter but lighter, like a weight had lifted. The next morning, the dealership felt different, not louder but less tense. Colleen's steps were slower, her confidence shaken. Raymond, now in the owner's office with a simple R. Ellis plaque, called her in. "I don't want your resignation," he said. "I want the truth. How did fear become your leadership?" She hesitated, then spoke. "This place was a mess when I started. I brought order, results. We're the top branch." "But at what cost?" Raymond asked. "You shame people to control them. That's not leadership. It's insecurity." Colleen's face twitched. "What now?" "You're on paid leave, effective immediately," he said. "HR will handle the rest. You can reapply elsewhere in 6 months, but not here." She shook his hand and left, passing Dean in the hall. Raymond turned to Dean. "You've been holding this place together quietly. That's real leadership." They talked, and by the end, Dean was interim general manager, pending a trial. Word spread fast. No one cheered, but the air felt lighter. Tex fist-bumped in the service bay. Milo whispered to Lana, "Told you he wasn't just a janitor." 2 weeks later, McAllister Motors looked the same logo, same shiny cars, but felt different. People spoke more freely, laughed without looking over their shoulders. Raymond met with every department, sleeves rolled up, listening more than talking. Walls came down slowly. At a Friday cookout organized by Dean, Raymond stood on a pallet to speak. "This place matters because of you," he said. "Not the cars, the people. Respect is the foundation. If something's broken, tell me. If you've got ideas, share them. Titles don't matter. How you treat each other does." The crowd clapped, not loud, but real. Dana handed Raymond a soda. "Didn't think this place could change," she said. He smiled. "We're not there yet, but we're moving." Milo approached later. "Thanks, Raymond, for listening." Raymond shook his hand. "You don't thank me for what you deserve." As the sun set, Raymond stood by the service bay, glancing at the mop bucket he'd left behind. Respect, he knew, wasn't a one-time gift. It was earned daily, in small choices, in listening when no one else did. If this story hit you, think about how you treat the people around you, especially the ones you might overlook. Respect still matters.